Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Welcome to Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Let me just really quick, if you haven't downloaded the free weather apps, you can do so on Google Play or on the App Store, the Meteorologist Joe Cioffi weather app, and also Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman. You can use both apps no matter where you are to get your local forecast, your local radar, but you also get my perspective and National Weather Service snow forecast maps are on there from Georgia to New England. And if you're in upstate New York and in New England this time around, they could come in useful, particularly if you're a skier. So just wanted to point that out. In the meantime, kind of busy this morning because we have the beginnings of what's going to be a major storm developing in the Northeast. And the impacts are going to be a little bit on the strange side. And we're seeing some of that already today. You have winter weather advisories up from northeast Missouri on up through southern Wisconsin, southern Michigan, and northwest Ohio. What you see up in upstate New York and into New England, that is all preemptive for tomorrow, which is going to include lake effect snow warnings. This is going to be a significant lake effect snow event for parts of northwestern Pennsylvania into southwestern New York, and then moving up into north central New York. It's very significant here. And we have winter storm warnings up for northern New Hampshire and Maine because, well, it's Maine and New Hampshire, and it snows there. Dense fog, an issue this morning from South Carolina on up into southern New Jersey. There is some patchy dense fog in areas further north. But that has thinned out a bit this morning. We've got wind advisories that are up for Thursday for central Pennsylvania, from south central Pennsylvania all the way up into north central Pennsylvania. And I suspect that we'll probably wind up seeing that area expanded a bit. Now, with respect to the lake effect snow warnings that we're seeing, this is pretty significant here. When you look up in upstate New York, in north of I-90 and along route Interstate 81, this is where you're going to see the big clobbering of up to maybe a couple of feet or more in some areas. And then you also have another significant area showing up in southwestern New York into northwestern Pennsylvania, where there could be up to a foot of snow there. Also into northeastern Ohio. But then the amounts, of course, tail off. They pick up again as you get down into West Virginia, some significant amounts in the mountains of West Virginia, up to probably about up to 6 inches or more in some places there. And of course, as usual, the I-95 urban corridor doesn't see a flake or an ice pellet, but that is the world that we live in. We also want to point out we are going to have some wind issues on Thursday, and they're going to come later on in the day, not so much early on in the day, but later on in the day. We're probably going to see some winds gusting to about 40 miles an hour or so, where we have the advisories up. Which I think, as I said earlier, you're probably going to see this area with the wind advisories being expanded a bit as we get a little bit closer. And where the pressure gradient is very tight is across Pennsylvania, from central Pennsylvania from south to north, and then you go up along the lake shores of Erie and Ontario, where you're seeing gusts of 40 miles an hour or more. Further to the east, at least into Thursday afternoon, and at least into the early part of Thursday afternoon, the winds aren't too terrible, but they're running in the gusty range of about 25 to 35 miles an hour. So let's take you through how this all plays out, because there's not going to be too much happening today. This is for 4 o'clock this afternoon, where we've got some rain popping up well to the west, a low in northern West Virginia. You see where the snow is, and from northeast Virginia to southern New England, it's pretty quiet in this zone. But during tonight, as the low begins to strengthen and a cold front swings around, there will be a band of showers and thunderstorms that will come through. I think they're going to come through. You're going to start to see them move into Maryland sometime around 11 o'clock midnight tonight, into southern Pennsylvania around midnight, reaching New York City around 1 a.m. And it's very fast. It just comes up, out, and done. And then that lifts up into New England. Now you start to see what happens on the backside of this. You get that colder air starts to sweep in to western New York and western Pennsylvania. And this is where you get into your lake effect snows that will occur during the day on Thursday. And then for everybody else, it's just going to dry out and turn colder. as we go for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. By the way, for tonight, if you wind up hearing some thunder and seeing some lightning with this, I think there will be a thunderstorm or two in this front that's going by. I don't expect it to be severe, but don't be shocked if a little thunder wakes you up in the middle of a sound sleep. So we get this out of the way, and then after that, weather conditions are actually going to improve going into the weekend. The only thing is that we are going to have colder air in the eastern half of the United States. The weather across the country looks to be calm, a little bit of action coming into the northwest, but certainly through this is through Saturday. It'll be windy and cold in the east Thursday and Friday. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s Thursday. They will be probably in the 30s to near 40 on Saturday, and mostly in the 30s. I'm sorry, for Friday, and mostly in the 30s for Saturday and Sunday from Northeast Virginia to Southern New England. But there will be sunshine coming back. Not so much for tomorrow, some sun and clouds and a gusty wind, but more sun on Friday, and it should be a sunny but cold weekend. And then just a real quick look longer term after Sunday, we are going to start to see the next weather system approach with maybe some rain showers coming along on later Monday into Monday night. It's once again another situation where the cold air disappears just as the next weather system arrives. And we are now in the month of March, or will be on Sunday, and doesn't look like we have any kind of weather pattern change to look ahead to. So, snow lovers, road trip up to the Great Lakes if you want to see something. That's really the only place you're going to get it. Okay, we'll have more tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, so you can look for that. And we'll see you later. Have a good day, and thanks for being here on Weather in 5.